right, thank you. So when I was in college 30 years ago, all my college roommates were from the Philadelphia suburbs, except for Robert. Robert was a Southern gentleman from North Carolina, and he had a Southern twang, and he was very laid back, respectable, conservative gentleman, and we teased him lovingly but mercilessly about that Southern twang and about his love for NASCAR. So we were surprised last year when he posted on Facebook that all of a sudden he was now fronting a Black Sabbath cover band, meaning his alter ego was now Ozzy Osbourne. And that's what led me this past Saturday night to be stepping out of an Uber at a biker bar in South Carolina called Suck Bang Blow. Now, if you're thinking Suck Bang Blow is a euphemism for fellatio, intercourse fellatio, get your mind out of the gutter. Suck Bang Blow is actually what what a motorcycle engine does. It sucks the gas in, the piston then bangs it, ignites it, the spark plug ignites it, and then it blows the excess energy out. That's what I'm told. So we arrive and we step out of this Uber into the gravel parking lot and see a row of Harley Davidsons, and I am walking way around it because I don't want to knock them over like Pee Wee Herman did, which is one of the few Roadhouse movies I've seen. But behind the row of Harley Davidsons is a covered porch and rocking chairs, making this place look like a Cracker Barrel. But I've never seen a Cracker Barrel with dancing cages up on the deck above it. And I'm told these dancing cages are only used during the bike rallies in spring and fall. We go inside, and we're three northern Yankees that walk into this southern biker bar, and it is awesome. We get our first round of drinks from a beautiful young woman named Whitney Rose, who is gorgeous, so gorgeous that my friend who just had a heart valve put in, I'm thinking it's gonna burst out. And we're drinking Corona, and we're getting all these little signs that, we're not in Pennsylvania anymore. There's a Hillary for Prison bumper sticker glued to the bar. Across the way, there's two women, biker chicks in their 40s, wearing bandanas, but the one has her bandana like gangbanger held on with a backwards Make America Great baseball cap. And we're just having a blast chatting with everybody. The other bartender that accompanied Whitney Rose was a gentleman by the name of Suicide, who was 6'1", and I'm telling you, his physique was more spectacular. 6'1", not an ounce of fat, arms of tattoos, and he was fun. I mean, he was the most intimidating guy there, but that was offset by his hairstyle, which was shaved totally bald except for a 3-inch tuft of hair on the top wrapped in a rubber band. I had never seen that style before except on Hare Krishnas and Cindy Lou Who. And we are rocking it out with everyone. After a couple rounds and a couple shots of Fireball, I have to go to the men's room. There's a Trump sticker on the door, and I'm just like, we're getting clues, but we're fitting in. We're having fun, and we're all wound up to see our buddy front this Black Sabbath cover band. The manager gets on stage and goes, "Everybody, give me a fuck yeah!" And we're so wound up from these shots. We're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" And then he goes, "Give me a fuck Hillary." And I'm like, ah! like looking around, just waiting to get pummeled. And everybody else in the bar did that except us three Yankees. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So my friend gets up on stage, and they are awesome. Afterwards, I go, and then I need a breath of fresh air. So I say, I'm going to walk out the back door by myself. I walk out the back door. There's two guys that look like, and they turned out to be Marine veterans, and a woman there. And I walk by and look in the back parking lot, and it's like any Roadhouse movie parking lot where you see somebody get beat up. And I turn around after getting some fresh air, and I'm walking back in, and the guy's like, "Who's Bukowski?" And I look at my shirt. I'm wearing a shirt that says Reed Bukowski, and I'm like, he's a poet from Los Angeles. and I'm like, I'm like, but he's a cool poet. He's a good poet. He was a drunkard. He was a drunkard. And I'm like, he didn't write floral poetry. He actually has a poem about beer farts, right? And I'm like so ready for this guy to take me in the parking lot and pummel me. But then he asked me a question, an amazing question. He says to me, is Bukowski liberal or conservative? And I started laughing because I'm like, Bukowski's an outsider, like he's neither. And then the guy, like I really am like, I'm not, the awkwardness of selling this guy a book of poetry in the back parking lot of a biker roadhouse, I'm like flop sweating. And all of a sudden he asked me, he goes, where are you from? And I said, Westchester, PA. He's like, my mom is buried in Calvary Cemetery right off Route 100. His eyes light up. And he's like, I was just at the Embryville campground over the summer, and I went to school in Lower Merion, and all of a sudden, liberal Democrat politics fades away, and we have a great time. I talk to him. His name's Chip. His wife's Kim. We shake hands. I get away. I get back inside safe and sound. And like any good Southerner, we end up at the Waffle House eating the All-Star breakfast at 2 a.m. Thank you.
Jim Breslin, everybody.